Imhotep. So this is kind of just a very quick split off from the earlier New Age discussion. I've been watching some authors and some communities lately, as you know, if you've seen my other videos. And it's kind of strange, just... I think if you watch someone's work closely enough, you can get kind of a good overview of their psychology. Now, I'm definitely no expert on psychology. I don't think I know that's just an entire field that takes years and decades to fully understand. And even then, you don't fully understand it. However, I think it's very true. The bigger of an opening you give to somebody, to talk and to express themselves and to show, their beliefs and their artwork and all kinds of things. Like, the more you give them that, the more they reveal themselves, for better or for worse. And I've been watching some communities lately, and I'm finding it kind of sad and very expressive of their limited psychology. Just the egotism that is kind of... it's blatantly obvious to some of us, but for others, maybe it's not, and that's okay. No judgment in that regard here. But, some authors, I think a big thing, showing yourself as God. There are some artists and authors who, for whatever reason, they're really preoccupied with constantly painting themselves or drawing themselves as a god. They'll say, this is an artwork meant to show a certain deity or entity or force, but you look at the artwork and you're like, that's actually a portrait of you. Like, I'm sorry, but I find it really silly. Today is kind of just a day of laying it out there, a few opinions and thoughts about online communities that somehow they just don't get talked about very much. And, when you do try to talk about them in the wrong places, you get shot down very quickly, because people are very afraid of opposition in any form. But yes, that's one facet that I find really suspicious about a lot of communities, is just to watch them and notice Hecate, Pan, whatever. That seems to be a very common pitfall that women experience. They want to paint or draw themselves as Hecate or Set or, Sekhmet or, just all of whatever deity they're drawn to, whatever force they're drawn to. And then, men aren't exempt from that either. But, that was just an errant thought that I was having running through my mind, that art... This is a whole other topic, especially as it's approached in Satianism, the concept of true art and the alchemical force behind it. But we do know that art meant for exhibition or, serving the ego isn't really art at all. And so I've been really thinking philosophically, like, is this art? If the person behind it is really stuck on themselves and they're just hell-bent on... at any possible opportunity, painting or drawing themselves as God because they're obsessed with their own illusions of power and grandiosity, and they want all of their followers and everyone to see them as a deity themselves. Is that art? Is that really a true, honest work in the occult? And unfortunately, it seems like in the occult scene, there are so many artists that are that way. Today was just... This was another ramble about how I do kind of wish that people would take it more seriously, not just blindly like and blindly follow and subscribe because this person has a following, because this person is the loudest one on the internet, so eventually they win out, or just because it's quote-unquote good technique art. There's so much corruption out there, and it's so very frustrating to deal with, for those of us that are indeed on the outside and we don't have the luxury of being associated with a coven or an order. And sometimes it's hard to navigate those treacherous waters, as they say, and find the real and the truthful and separate that out from the false. But I do believe that it could be an interesting topic just to kind of go through and dissect certain facets that you see being expressed in these communities that are rarely ever criticized. Because, the minute you criticize it, unless you're in the right group that allows freedom of expression and freedom of speech, you get shut down, you get flamed, you get told that you're a horrible person, and like, how dare you dare to criticize this person? They've been leading online rituals for years, and they have a following, and they've published books. What have you done? So yeah, keep an open mind out there, because I think there's just, once again, there's a lot of corruption to wade through. And yeah, that'll conclude it for today. But good luck out there sifting through all the bullshit.